lips puckered up.
No, literally like the BBL effect, like.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Soul Supremacy, where we talk about all things unapologetic, all things passion, and in pursuit of. And clearly, we have another guest over here, another beautiful guest on the show over here. There you go. I did it right this time, this way, over here. And his name is Christopher Aguirre. There you go.
Hey,
He is based in, where are you based from again? LA?
So I am from Burbank, California. So right now I'm currently in UCLA. So it's like 30 minutes away from Burbank.
Nice. And from what we talked about, not only is he a beautiful dancer, beautiful mover, he is someone that identifies himself as an artist in general. And actually, I didn't ask you this, but what are your pronouns?
He, him, his.
Him, his. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So he identifies himself as an artist in general. I just almost like how I guess try to identify myself, because instead of like getting stuck in the identities that we love to, do according to our passions, I think for the both of us, I think it's just more fitting that we just kind of claim the artist in us.
Exactly.
So, yes. So, actually, before we continue, I just also wanted to say that I'm super, super thankful to have this guy on our show, because
thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Because a couple months ago, I think definitely the beginning of the year, my best friend Lorraine, shout out Lorraine, and she says hi, by the way. She's my friend.
I'm sending her a big hug. So
yes. She's my other friend, the only friend that I really dance with. So she's actually the one that saw the video, and she was like, "Do you want to recreate this?" And it was the best friend one.
Yeah.
And so we did that, and the rest was history. I followed him, became a fan, and eventually asked him to be on my show, because I was like, this kid is okay. So when I say kid, I only because like for someone his age, he's already done so much, being resilient, putting himself out there, growing and thriving. But he's amazing, and that's why I'm so glad to have him on the show. How are you today?
No, I'm doing amazing, and like your energy is everything. And I just want to say thank you for even having me on. Like, I had been watching your podcast and everything. And I was like, this is such an amazing opportunity for the both of us. And I just love your energy and like what this podcast stands for. And like, I'm just super grateful to be here. So thank you.
Thank you, my friend. Okay, so as we get started, we're actually going to get started with a couple of icebreaker questions. So are you ready, or are you ready?
I'm ready. So.
And I was ready to burp, excuse me. Okay, so my first question for you is, what are 3 things about you that people wouldn't normally know when they meet you for the first time?
Okay, I feel so. I mean, this is just because someone brought it up to my attention recently, but a lot of people think I have a high voice, like when they look at my social media, and I feel like my voice is very like.
I'm sorry. Wow. Okay.
Like my voice is very like low, but at the same time, like I don't know. I feel like it's pretty low, but yeah, a lot of people always tell me like, I thought you would have a high voice when I met you. Really?
Can I ask how do you feel about that though? How do you feel about that perception?
I actually, well, that's the thing on social media. Like, it's all like people kind of create their own like idea of you just based on what they see. So
yes.
when people like see me in person, like I like seeing like the responses of like, oh my god, like I didn't know you were that. They're gonna be more like hyper, more this, and I'm like, no, like I feel like I'm just very laid back, chill, and like that's like my vibe. But I can also be very hyper at times. So number 2, I'm a huge like music addict. So like I used to want to be a singer. So like my guilty pleasure is watching artists in like their own environment, like, creating, or like watching producers like create beats, or even, like live performances. Like I just love like the process of like the final product. So that's something that I feel like people don't usually would expect from me, but I'm always like on my bed at night, like watching like Doja Cat's live streams of her making music, or like things like that. And then lastly, I don't know. I feel like I'm very like involved, and I have a lot of different stuff that I do that people don't normally see on my social media. So like I'm part of 2 organizations here at UCLA, and it's the Pediatric AIDS Coalition. So our goal is just to end the stigma regarding like HIV and AIDS. And then I'm also a part of the Culture Affairs Commission, Hip Hop Congress. So we just put up a lot of events for the school, and like we promote like hot artists. Like we brought Megan Thee Stallion, Charlie XCX, and like a lot of different people.
Wow.
But yeah, like, and
All
then
right.
I'm a social media specialist here at UCLA, and yeah, I just do like a lot of different things. And yeah, I feel like people, I think people just think I dance, but I do like a lot of different things.
Isn't that interesting that according to, I guess, what we put out on social media, that it really does have a huge influence on like how, how people perceive us, you know?
No, exactly. And I'm a UCLA student, and I'm currently taking a class right now. It's called social networking. And a huge emphasis on what we're talking about right now is just like how social media, how social media influences the way we perceive and communicate with people, like online and in person. So it's funny you mentioned that, because I think that's like so true. Like you think you know someone just based on their social media, because you can figure out like their favorite food, like their friends and everything just on social media. And in person, you're just like, whoa, like I feel like I know you, but like I don't.
That's really true. And actually, as you're saying that, I think it just kind of dawned on me that I need to fix my bangs just a little bit. And also, I think this is really like why I enjoy the process of like not only doing the interviews itself, like being here, but also coming up with the questions.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that what you just said, that we may have an idea of who or what someone is, but you really don't know until you meet them in person. You're like, oh, you're actually like, we actually have more in common than you probably don't think that you do, based on what you're just seeing, just the linearness of it, you know?
Exactly. And I mean, even like us, like we were talking through DM, and I feel like I already knew you like through DM, and this is the first time we meet. Like
all talking. Yeah.
Oh, exactly. And like, I mean, it's such a vibe, and I just feel like social media is a really good start to like talk to someone, and then in person, like really connect everything, and like, yeah, talk like this.
I like that. Yes. So basically, use social media as a tool, but to take into the real life, and not forget real life, because social media is not always life.
Yeah, like an illusion in a way.
Yes. It's crazy. That's where we're at now. 2021, 20 years ago, it was a different world. Okay, so my next question is, what's your favorite food?
Ooh, okay. So this is like the most easiest questions, but I feel like the easiest ones are always like the hardest for me. And I eat everything, like, but what comes to mind right now is chicken curry, like Thai food. I just love Thai food a lot. Yeah, it gets spicy, and I'm like eating it up.
Yeah, I just I talk just chicken curry in itself, right? Or are you talking about with rice or
with rice?
Probably with rice. Okay,
rice, like the full package, like everything.
Yes, yeah. I barely eat it, but when I do, I'm definitely in a mood for it. Like I'm definitely feeling some kind of way. Yeah. It's almost like comfort food. There you go. It's like if I need to feel comforted, I'm like,
especially when it's like cold and you're like, like a movie night with some curry, like
yes,
that's like the vibe that I'm like when I imagine
warm meal to be reminded that you're alive.
Literally something to rejuvenate me.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite food? I know. Me? I just ask. Yeah.
Spam. Well,
with seaweed.
Spam.
Like.
Yes. Well, I mean with rice. Because with us I'm Filipino, so the way I grew up with rice too, but with spam was it would just be served with rice. And then it wasn't until that I moved here, because I immigrated from the Philippines, that I learned about like the actual culture of like at least the
wrap.
Hawaiian culture, at least with the wrap, with the seaweed wrap.
Yeah.
The masubi. So
it's so fire. I love that.
I can't grab it because it's too far and it's gonna disconnect me from the audio. But over there, I'm looking at a can of spam, looking at me.
As you should, because I would eat that up too.
Yeah. Okay, I'm interested. What's my next question? Do you have a morning routine? Are you an early bird? What's your routine?
So I am like an early bird and night owl, but like not a day person. So I'll be up in the morning, do everything I need to do. The day I'm very like tired, and then I'm back hyper again during the night. But yeah, my morning routine, I wake up, I shower. Once I shower, I get out, and it takes me 15 minutes exact to like do everything. So I brush my teeth, then I do my hair, then I put on chapstick, and then I put on my moisturizer, and then I put on my deodorant, I put cologne, and then I just curl my lashes, and that's my accessories, and that's basically like my routine every day. And I play music while I do it just because it gets me in the mood. And I actually do like affirmations, so like I'll tell myself it's going to be a good day, and I feel like that always kind of sets the mood for the day. Or even if I'm doing like poop, I'll be like, you know what, it's still going to be a good day. There's going to be something good in the day. So that's what I tell myself, like to have like a good mindset for the day.
That's beautiful. Actually, I wanted to ask you if you like personally had a skin routine because because your skin is flawless, but also like with the affirmations. Excuse me, this cough. I'm sorry, y'all. Like, I mean, I guess for me, my relationship with affirmations is I like there are some days where I could actually get to the point and be like, okay, you are this and that. And during the days that I don't feel so good about myself, I just like kind of ask and pray, and I just kind of like talk to whoever's up there, really. And if you believe in a God, the universe, the beautiful things up there. But I think usually what that looks like for me is I like to ask. I think almost every day what it comes down to is I like to ask for signs. And one of the things that I always like to ask for is show me beautiful things, remind me of the beauty of this life.
Yeah.
And then instantly I'm like, because I do Uber Eats, and that's like it's a little unconventional really, but I'm just like, I'm making work for myself.
No, exactly.
Especially with a pandemic.
That part, and just I feel like any hustle is like a hustle. Like we're all doing like what we have to do to like make ends meet. And I mean, I value every worker, like every type of worker. Like I feel like there's a bad job, unless like obviously like your boss and like management is like very like rude and stuff, then that's a whole different story.
Oh, don't get me started.
Yeah.
Don't get me started.
In terms of like jobs, like I feel like all jobs like are good. Like you're getting stuff done and like making ends meet. So
yes, and you're hopefully and consciously choosing to be there because you want to be there, and also you are really making like you're helping contribute to the society.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, like beautiful things. And I just like in the deliveries, like whether through the conversations that I have with the people that I deliver to or pick up food, or like the beautiful sceneries that I'm driving to. And so like literally the power of affirmations, the power of words, and the power of thoughts. It's real, y'all. It's real.
It really is real. Like I'm all about speak it to existence. And when I talk to my friends, like I always speak in like present tense, or like I speak in like future tense, but like it already happened. So like I'll film dance videos, and I'll be like, oh, like Tinashe's gonna love this dance, and they're like, oh my god, how do you know she's gonna repost? I'm like, I just know she's gonna repost. Like it's like this feeling I get.
Yes.
And yeah, like when it happens, I'm like, I told you, like I wasn't lying. Like I just believe in it, and I know it's gonna happen.
I actually believe what you just said, because there's something in like the what's that called, like the affirmation in itself. Like you already claimed it, so by claiming it, you're kind of putting yourself on a advantage basically, because of how you're gonna choose to show up in that moment to get to the future. Kind of transcend it.
And it's been a journey, because at first, like I kind of was not embarrassed, but just very like I didn't really believe in affirmations. I felt like I'm saying this, but I don't mean it. So I was like, I would just say things, but I'm like, I don't really feel it. But I've gotten to a point now where like if I say something, like I truly believe it. I'm like, you know what, like you got it, like. And even at times when I don't believe it, I feel just like telling that to myself, like it gives me like that sense of hope of like, okay, like something is, even if I'm in a poopy spot right now, like I'm gonna like get to the top because I need this to like get there. But yeah, like I mean, same thing with dance. I feel like that's the same thing. Like when I'm stuck with choreo, I'm just like, okay, like it's fine. Come up with something else, and like some other move will come out of it. So it's very like metaphoric in a way.
Well, the fact that you just kind of was really honest about where you came from with your journey and kind of believing in yourself. It happens, it's like you really have to fake it till you make it. There you go. That's what I was trying to say. I was like trying to think of something more thought-provoking, but that's it.
I was literally fixing my shirt, but I'm like, honestly, even Avatar, like Aang didn't believe in himself, and when he did, like he like like just won and brought balance back. So
Yeah.
Just side note, I just saw my shirt and I was like, oh.
Mm-hmm. And too, actually, as we move to the final question of the icebreaker, I am realizing that it's so ironic at the same time that we kind of found ourselves in a little beautiful tangent here about self-confidence, because
Yes.
I'm talking to someone that like, at least when I first see them and their projection and like the energy that they're giving back to the world, that is kind of promoting to just like own who you are, badass it, and there you go,
Period. So, yeah, exactly. No, thank you. I mean, I was talking to my friend about it, or I was in a breakout room and I was talking to like this other like student, and I was telling them how like a lot of like nowadays, like you see a lot of people promoting stuff and it's not very authentic. It's very like, or like because it's sponsored or something like that, but
too curated. Yeah.
I always feel like I'm so happy you said that, because when I create, like I hope that people like really get that energy from my page, or just from when they look at my videos or like posts. Like I really just do hope that they get what the message that I'm trying to be across, because like I mean this is really who I am. So I'm just happy you said that. Thank you.
You're welcome. Authenticity, my friend. Okay, so my final question for this segment is drum rolls, and also ironic at the same time, because I think he's definitely going to give us something awesome with this. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this is my question. So, if you were to have your own TikTok dance challenge, in which I think you may probably already have, what would the first move look like? And please show us.
Ooh, okay. Just because I've been doing this a lot recently, it'd probably be like a fierce walk, like a walk, and then boom, like some like slide into it.
Yeah.
Currently on my bed, but let's see if I can fake it. But basically, you just like walk, and then like slide or something.
Hey!
Like just yeah. Like,
my neck.
Like, boom. Because I'm all about like actually my friend Kayla, she films my videos. She's like right here behind the screen. But
hi.
Yeah, she like films like my videos, and like we always like co-direct, and I'll be like, oh, like I like this, and she'll be like, okay, I'll like tap it or like do this. So I feel like with my movements, it's always like a relationship with the camera. So I like try to create choreography that's gonna like be cool and something that and be cool and also fit the camera movements and like the way I'm gonna like film it.
Nice.
So with this, we tilt it.
Oh, nice. I actually have a question about that, because I'm sure you can tell that dancing or performing in person versus creating movement for the camera it's very similar, but still two different experiences.
It really is.
Techniques. Yeah. Like if you think that you have to like, you basically have to like give 1,000% more of your energy for the camera for it to look as if you're watching it in person,
Exactly. And honestly, it's crazy because, I have a huge performance coming up this Friday, and I'm super excited, and I'm nervous at the same time as well. But it's like I haven't performed live in like a minute. Like I do like with my friends and things like that. But like when I shoot with the camera, like we obviously like dance it like maybe 30 times until we get the perfect take. But when it's a performance, like you have one shot and one shot only to like give it your best and like look the best. So I've been really putting things in perspective of like, wow, like it's a whole different like mind shift, and really like preparing yourself to like just really give it your all and like just owning it.
Yes, and to really be in the moment and just to have fun, because the people, well, besides you all putting your time and passion and energy to perform, and to give back to the people, as also the people that are there are also excited to share that visceral, fleeting experience with y'all. So y'all will kill it, okay? Y'all will slay. Y'all will.
Oh, thank you. I'm so excited.
Well, y'all will do well. There you go. See, I caught myself saying that. You all will kill it. There you go.
Yeah, no, I'm super excited just because it is my like in terms of like scales of performances, like this one is like my first like really huge scale performance, and I'm just super excited and grateful. I'm just super like I can't even describe it. Everything just feels surreal until like I'm there. I'm gonna be like, whoa, like it's real.
I feel it. I think I clicked on the link by accident, actually. Or wait, no. I saw your post. Actually, I saw your post. Yeah. You'll be okay. Okay, so I know that we're actually not really on a time crunch, but I still have a lot of questions that I want to ask you. segues. Okay, my segues are always awkward, and I'm just gonna accept that. So we're gonna segue into the main interview. So my very first question for you is, who is Christopher?
Okay, so I am Christopher Aguirre. I am just someone who's very passionate and outgoing and determined, and I feel like I'm not someone who talks the talk. Like I will actually put in the work, and like you will see me. Like I spread myself a lot, sometimes maybe overly too much, but I just feel like I'm all about like if I want something, I'm gonna get it, and I'm not gonna let anything stop me because I feel like most of the time it's us who are stopping ourselves. So I think that my mentality is just always like, okay, you want, you're gonna get it. Somehow we're gonna network with people and like get there, but we're gonna get there. And yeah, I'm a dancer. I do photography. I'm a performer. I'm an artist overall. I'm a social media specialist. And yeah, I just love the arts and I just love learning about everything. Like I'm currently learning how to like Photoshop, like and use Lightroom and like video editing. Like I just love it all. Like I'm a sponge. Like I feel like I love to like learn everything. And yeah, I'm a double major here at UCLA, communications and dance. And yeah, I'm just super excited for what's to come. And I'm just very grateful for like my journey that has led me here where I am right now.
Beautiful. You know, actually, I like this guest over here. I think what's really beautiful about this is I feel like a part of me is speaking to my younger self, you know, because as an artist, you know, like we just kind of really never know where life is going to take us, you know, but we do start somewhere. Exactly. And that passion takes us to probably many different places that we want and also may have never thought of, but it will take us to where our kind of that, you know, wants to take us. So my next
about being an artist.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, you're good. I'm sorry I cut you off, but
no, you're good.
I think that's like the fun part about being like an artist. Like, yeah, the ambiguity of like not knowing where you're going could be like stressful at times, but I feel like it's also exciting because you like something big pops up out of nowhere and you're like, whoa, like did not even know. Like you're just following your journey and like boom, something like that you've always wanted like is there. Your hard work pays off.
Yeah, which is actually one of the things that my my dance professor, Joe Alter, shout out from SDSU, Joe Alter. He actually danced for Paul the Paul Taylor company. Yeah. That's why he said basically that even at the time I didn't really understand it, that as like majoring in the arts, you're actually creating your own feature. And while that can be stressful, you know, us over here, we're forging our own paths that hasn't been created yet.
Exactly.
You know? Yeah. Okay, so my next question for you is I know I kind of briefly talked about it, but I would also love to hear from your perspective. How did we cross paths?
Yes. So funny enough, I think you and your friend, best friend, recreated Best Friends or like commented, and I think I replied to your comment, and I'm like, oh, you guys need to do it, and you guys did, right?
Yes, we did. Yeah,
I remember. Okay, because you guys did, and then honestly, like I knew about you just because you were always commenting like my stuff. So like I'm someone who I remember like people, like even if I don't follow you back or anything, like I do remember like you, and I just kept seeing your page because you would comment and like and like I totally admire like, and I'm so grateful for people like you that just really like support me, and same with me, like I'll support you, like I just love that a lot. So I kept seeing you, and then
okay, thanks, algorithm.
I know, algorithm, literally. And yeah, I checked my requested DMs, and then I saw, and I was like, oh my God, like I started looking at your podcast and listening to them, and I was like, oh my God, I would love to. And you asked me to like be on the podcast, and like here we are. And honestly, I'm just really grateful that we met and that we're doing it, because I think it's amazing. I feel like that's the beauty of social media. Like you can meet so many people without being in the same like country or state or even like city.
Yeah. And well, first of all, thank you. And I feel like for me, I am very cognizant of the fact that for the most part, super thankfully, that I have a really good relationship with social media. Like it inspires me more than it does not. So like when I saw you, I was like, okay, bitch, you better get life,
Yeah.
which is what I mean, which is ultimately what I really appreciated. So also thank you again for just kind of being yourself and just also having the courage actually to be who you are, put it out there, and then just kind of like people like myself and everyone else out there who've like you made an impact. So
no, that means the world. Thank you. And yeah, I feel like people like I feel like us, because I feel I get the same energy from you. Like we're just here and we do what we love to do, and we don't do it for like materialism. Like we do it just because we love it.
It's an expression of who we are.
That part, and I feel like it really like transcribes like through a screen, and I feel like that's the power of like what we do.
Okay. I thought you said dual screen for a second. I was like, this is a dual screen. We're like, oh, it's a split screen. Hey, everyone. Okay. Thank you so much for answering that question. So my next question for you is, we're actually going to take a dip, just a little bit of a dip into your childhood. What was Christopher like as a kid growing up? And I'm actually excited to hear this because I briefly read up on it, according to your Voyage LA article. So.
Oh, okay. So I feel like as a kid, I was very unapologetic, and I was very shy. But I feel like once I let you in, like you really got to like know me. And I feel my mom and I, we were watching like videos of like when I was younger, and I was just very like unapologetic. I was dancing to Shakira, to Cheetah Girls, like all around the table. Like I was just like living my life.
Yes, the Cheetah Girls.
Literally, like in High School Musical, like and my favorite icons growing up were like Shakira.
Yes.
I don't know why her music just like speaks to me. And even as a little kid, I was like singing these like very like heavy, like mature like songs, and I was like, wow, like I feel that. And
you're like 7 on 30.
No, literally. And I think it's crazy that because obviously like when my mom grew up, like there was no like technology like there is now. So I feel like I was born in 2001, so technology was like still like it was in the come up, I feel. So I was always on YouTube like trying to learn how to like use green screens, and like I was always just into like creating. And my aunts and brother and we would all like get together and like just record funny videos and try to like go viral, and we would like hang up like green blankets and try to create green screens and like vines. Like we just always, I feel like I've always had a love for like social media and just being on a camera. And I feel in terms of dance, I never really danced until my freshman year of high school. And I did a little bit of show choir. I mean, I did show choir like in middle school, like for my last 2 years. But growing up, like the only dance I ever knew was like salsa, because at family parties, like salsa, so like salsa was always like the main thing. And, I was a little kid, I just love like seeming like mature to people. So when I was like younger, I would always go up to like the women in my family and be like, "You want to dance?" And like we would dance salsa together. And like
I mean, it'd be like, "Oh, somebody asked my single self."
No, literally. They'd always be like, "Oh my god, he's so cute, like so young," and like all this. And I was like, "Oh, like thank you." Like, but I loved it. Like as a little kid, I'm like, "Okay, cool." Like I'm getting the attention. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like I was always very bubbly, and like I always stood my ground, because I was bullied like in 3rd grade, and people like these 8th graders, I was a 3rd grader, and these 8th graders would call like my brother and I slurs, like you guys are like gay, and like just using all these like terms that they thought were offensive. And I was just like walking with my brother, and like I just told my brother, like, don't listen to them, like they like literally they're just trying to act cool because they're with their friends. And like it got to a point where I just came back home and I told my mom about the whole situation. And we talked to this is maybe a little too far, but my mom, she's like very protective. But she went to like the principal, and like basically like we sat all the guys down.
Yes.
I was sitting there and I was like,
"Go ahead, mama. You better not talk to my kid like that."
Literally. And the principal was like, "Oh, so what did they say?" And I was a little kid, and I was like, "They said this, that, and that." And she goes, "Okay, well, we'll suspend them." And like they got suspended, and I was like, "Don't mess with me."
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Very unapologetic.
Oh, wow.
And, I don't know if I can, but I just did not.
Oh no! Yes, please. Actually, that's what. Yes, unapologetic. Go ahead, cuz.
Yeah, I just didn't give a fuck. So I was like, "Yeah, I am who I am. Don't mess with me."
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you for sharing everything that you just shared, and also opening up about that part of your life, because I think sadly to say, at some point too many people experience bullying, but really don't ever kind of get not what am I trying to say? Don't the tools and the courage to like defend themselves, or the confidence really to defend themselves, and the fact that you did that like at such a young age, and you're still young, but at such a younger age, a baby literally having a sense of self, like popping out of your mom's womb saying, "This is me," you know.
And I think that's crazy was because like even though I didn't know who I was, like the fact that I still subconsciously like did all that, I feel it's just it's kind of beautiful to see like where I am now, because now I really stand my ground. But back then, like I just didn't really know, and I was just like being me without. I feel that that's the cool thing about being a kid. It's just like you really are yourself, and like you don't really let anybody hold you back. Yeah. And like I wish I could connect with my inner child even nowadays, just because I loved how I was like how I just didn't really care. Now I'm all about like, oh, like how's this person gonna perceive me, or like this. But yeah, I think that's really beautiful.
Then at what point did you realize that, because I know you did singing, you briefly mentioned doing singing and like kind of relating to like puberty. Damn puberty. A lot of because of puberty, the world seems to lose a lot of male singers. Just kidding.
No, literally.
Dreams are broken. I'm just kidding. But like segueing into like pursuing dance, because I know you're like still in college, which is actually cool too, because I think most of the people that I've talked to are actually older in the sense that they graduated college and they've actually already like been established in their careers. So it's actually really interesting to be talking to you, because you're like still like you're still in the early stage. Really, I mean, in my opinion, still at the very beautiful earlier stages of your career, even though you've already like you're building it so well. So I guess my question is, what was that moment when you realized that dance, because I know you're double majoring too in communications, but at least in terms of the arts, like at what moment did you realize that this is something that you wanted to pursue professionally?
Yeah. So I went into high school and like I just took dance as a PE credit because I didn't want to run. But
same here actually. Yep, same here.
Jokes on me though, I still ran and danced. But anyways, basically I took dance as a PE credit just because I didn't want to run, and I still wanted to be a singer like going into high school. So I was in show choir, and like to me that was like my stage zone. And I was just taking dance just because like to get it out of the way.
PE credit to graduate, yeah.
Yeah, literally. And I was in my dance class, and I was like, whoa, like this is actually. I started like enjoying like dance a lot, like becoming obsessed with it. Like it was like night and day obsession. Like I remember first semester, I was very like, okay, like I'm still like a guy dancing. Like there was still that stigma of like, I mean, this was only like maybe 6 years ago, but like it still feel like I feel like still at that time like men dancing was still like seen as like still like face.
Yeah,
like,
I think we were kind of phasing out of it, but yes, because for me mine was 2006, and I clearly felt that.
No, literally, and it's crazy just how much changes in like 10 years or 5. And basically I started to fall in love with it, and like it became a passion of mine. So I started training like a lot, and I knew where I wanted to go, like the direction I wanted to go in, but I didn't really like. My family always told me like dance is not like a career. Like you need to like think about like being a doctor or being this. So my dreams were always kind of like, oh, like, but I really want to pursue it. But my family always said no. So I was already planning on like being a chemist or being like a veterinarian or something like a vet. And the moment it clicked for me was my senior year of high school. Like I'm a first generation student, so like I didn't really know anything about like applying for colleges or all that. So everything was kind of like rushed last minute. Like, oh, you're supposed to take an SAT now. I was like, oh, what is that? So I'm like, okay, scheduled it for next week. I don't even know what
to study.
Like, yeah, literally. And I'm a bad test taker like at the time, so like I literally was just like thrown into everything. And when I applied, I didn't tell my mom or my family, but I told them like I was gonna apply as a business major. And I was sitting in my AP chemistry class, and I was like, honestly, like, why am I doing things for people?
AP chemistry. Okay, go ahead with your bad stuff. I took AP biology, and I like struggled to like get a C every single semester.
And I told myself, I was like in my like table, and I was like, why am I doing things for people? Like not to like be mean or anything. But, like and I'm gonna be stuck with my life and be like, wow, like I really lived my whole life for people. So I'm like, honestly, Chris, like do what's gonna make you happy and like just really like believe in yourself. And I think that's the moment where I really like caught myself and I was like, okay, like we're gonna apply to dance. I got into every college I applied for. Wow. And yeah, like I think that was the moment where I was like, this can definitely be a career. And like my goal is like obviously like, I want to prove to myself that I could do it, but I also just want to prove to my family like, yeah, like this is a career that's like that I can take and like go for the run and like be successful. But yeah, that's basically like my little like epiphany of where I was like, whoa, like this is really like for me. And just opportunities that I've gotten just through dance. Like I feel like my family's already kind of like they don't really know the industry, but like they're already kind of like, wow, like you are making moves and like you are like proving us wrong.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. It's, I mean, the fact that you like, again, at such a like, I like younger is well, younger is not even the right term anymore. My earlier stage of your life, like having that sense of self coming from, or coming from that kid, or going from that third grader you said who like told his mom, and then basically got those kids getting what they deserve, to like being a senior, high school senior, and being like, wait, you're kind of realizing that there's something wrong, or at least there's something, and the fact that you decided to not just act on it and own up to it, I feel like that's a lot of like, enough people are scared of it, basically. That's what I'm trying to say. Like a lot of people get to the
no, yeah, sorry. You can finish. Sorry, I cut you off.
Oh no, it's okay. We're talking online. That's why it's happening. But I mean, just to finish what I was saying, like enough people, like sadly to say, sometimes up until their deathbeds, get to the point, and which is kind of true, which is really one of the biggest like regrets, or one of the main regrets of the dying, is not being able to like choose themselves.
No, exactly. I think I always think about like it's funny you said deathbed, because I always tell my mom, like, I don't want to be in my deathbed and be like, wow, like I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, like I want to be in my death and be like, I live my life. You can disconnect the cord. Like,
yes.
Like, I just want to be very like, I want to be happy with my life and content. That's why like my motto is always fuck it. Like if I'm nervous, I'm gonna say fuck it and like do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, like we only have one life and we're only here for like 100 years or less or more. Yes. But we might as well just live like life to the fullest, because why not?
Yeah. Dang. You're brave, my friend. You're brave. Nice.
But it's in all of us. So I feel like it's just finding that little like that little like, I don't even know what to like call it, but just finding that little thing in us that's gonna like really bring us to like our best version of ourselves.
Yeah, I think my excuse me, what I'm trying to say. I think my version, there you go, whatever. My version for your answer, I think for me is like your soul. Like your soul that lives. For me, I think it lives underneath my gut. Like that intuition, the thing that's always telling you, like, trying to talk to you, but sometimes you don't want to listen to it. And then when you don't listen to it and you make the wrong decision, it like punishes you. It's like, okay, you don't want to listen to me. I'm trying to help you. You're going to make the other decision. Okay, I'm going to make you miserable until you realize that I was right all along,
You're like, damn, I should have like done that. And you're like,
yeah.
Your intuition's like, I told you. So
I told you. Nice.
No,
okay, so
I think we can all agree that high school is just a roller coaster. And I feel like once I came out as gay and like really owned my sexuality, I feel like at that point I was kind of like, I already did like the hardest part, because it's very difficult coming out. And I was like, at this point, no one can tell me shit, because I am who I am. And like, I think that's when I came out was the time when I really started to like own who I was and what I was doing unapologetically.
Nice. I think I'm actually like, because I'm trying to think. I'm gonna cut this. Okay, or I'm gonna be cutting this segment. But no, we only have a few more. I have a few more questions left.
I'm so sorry. I keep like rambling, like long answers.
No. It's actually good. I mean, the format of my show actually is, as much as possible, I don't like to cut, because being unapologetic, right?
Yeah.
But for like awkward segues, that's my only thing. If it's okay, so if it's okay with you, I actually hadn't thought about asking this, but since you brought it up just a little bit.
I did it on purpose to let you know, like, okay, like you can ask me about my sexuality and like
yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Would you mind, like, because being someone that identifies as a gay male, I think it's an important question to ask another, person in our community. It's like, how has your journey been?
Yeah. So I believe we're born the way we are. There's no like I'm choosing to be this or choosing to be that. I feel like we're born this way. And growing up, like I always like again, like I had like in third grade, like people call me slurs, and like I had that in fifth grade and all throughout middle school. Even though I was dating, like I had like 2 girlfriends in middle school, and like people were so being like
me too.
calling me slurs. And I'm straight, like what? And it really got to a point where I was like, I think it was all rooted in my family. So like, my aunt and I were like the first ones like out in our family. So she was the first one out, and I kind of like saw how people reacted to like the way she came out as lesbian. And I was just honestly like super scared of like to come out. But I reached a point where I was like, one, it's already obvious, like, so it might as well just be me. And then 2, like there's nothing wrong with being who I am. So I built up the courage to like my mom, I told my mom, and like she was like, I already knew. Like you're not hiding.
I know my mom said the same thing.
She's like, about time. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I came out to my friends, and like obviously my friends were supportive. And honestly, I think I got a lot of respect from people once I came out. It wasn't so like it wasn't what I was expecting, because I didn't want to like do the whole like I'm out, like I didn't want to do that. Like I just told like my close friends, and like when people ask me, I'll tell them something super casual, because I want to make it like it is a huge part of me, but like I also don't want to like I don't know. I feel like I never want to be like, hey guys, like I'm this, like
imposing.
Yeah, like
kind of.
Yeah, because again, like something normal. So like if people ask me, I'll tell them like, yeah, like I'm gay. Like there's not like a big deal. But yeah, and then when I told my dad, like it did take him time to like really like come to terms with it. And we didn't speak for like I think like 3 or 4 months. And once I got into college, like because I told him my senior year, once we got into college, like we walked around campus, and like we just really talked about everything, and like his views and the way he grew up, and like the way I am. And like I just told him like it was always there. Like you can even look at videos, and I was always very like feminine and just very like gay. But yeah, and I feel like coming into college, like I also had the stigma, like people were not gonna like me because I was gay. And obviously that was all like internalized like homophobia of like just deep rooted like homophobia from like where I was just very like afraid. But I think I'm in a fraternity too, and like even then, like all the guys that I'm around and just always have that respect for me. And I just really like I really noticed like it's okay to be yourself, and you're always gonna have people who are gonna love you regardless of like whether there's hate or people who like are like homophobic or anything. Like there's always gonna be good people, and I always like focus on that, because people who aren't in that like spectrum of good people, like I'm always like, that's your problem, not mine. So yeah, that's like been my journey. And like I said, I think once I came out, that's when I really found myself and really was like, I am who I am, like, and I'm gonna go full force with who I am, like with dance, with like with my workspaces, with everything. Like I'm just gonna be me. And yeah, I feel like there's like you're only gaining. So yeah.
Yes. All puns intended.
Literally.
Period. We're all gaining. There you go.
We're all gaining.
Just kidding.
I love that.
You know what? From like a part of what you mentioned, just shared about like respecting. I mean, as scary as it was to come out and like really be like, oh, this is really me, I'm just gonna do it. Like from my experience too, I actually was like unknowingly I was able to get more respect because I chose to be myself and still chose kindness over hate. And I think too that's one of the best things that we can really do actually is by coming out is we're giving the permission to other people as well to then again, be themselves. As long as you're being kind, you're putting your best foot forward, trying your best to work on your own pain and not kind of projecting to others, which is its own conversation, but still giving like kind of putting your best foot forward, basically. You know?
And with homophobic people, I just always think about like it bothers you so much to see someone happy. Like that's something that I still don't understand. Like how can someone like hate on someone when like they're just doing them? I don't know. I feel like the fact that it bothers you that much to like say something is like kind of like concerning.
What is it about yourself? Like when you actually look at the mirror and actually understand or even begin to like reflect on why you're feeling that way, because that's a hard thing actually. And as humans, whether it's homophobia or many other things from the Pandora's box, you know, like we will always have moments of like having a hard time looking at ourselves and being like, this is really me, and then there are dark sides about me that I also just have to learn how to embrace as well, and eventually make peace with, you know. So,
and one of the coolest things of like coolest when I came out was like two of the most masculine men I knew at the time, like in high school, like DM me privately and we're like, hey, like we're really proud of you, and like we're so happy that you get to like be who you are, and like it takes a lot of courage to like come out, and I'm just like happy that you have the courage to, and like you're like one of the strongest people I know. And like once I got that message, I was like, whoa, like that really took me back, and I was like, wow, like I was kind of like speechless. I was like, I never expected someone to tell me that. And same thing when I got into UCLA, I met this guy.
Who again? I'm sorry. The letter. So, who did they?
They were like the two most masculine men I knew at the time, like in high school. So hearing from them,
high school, okay,
yeah, from like a masculine like man, I was like, wow, like it kind of showed me like there are like good people, and like it's not really like it shouldn't be taken like bad that I'm like who I am. And even when I got into college, like I Snapchatted this guy that I met on Facebook, and the first thing I Snapchatted him was like we were talking, and I was like, oh, like by the way, like I'm bisexual at the time. I was like, I'm bisexual, so I hope like that doesn't bother you. And he goes, oh, honestly, dude, like be who you are. Like that's like fucking amazing, like that you get to do that, and just be proud of who you are, and like that takes a lot of courage. And he said the same thing, and I was like, wow, like I really kind of like set up sometimes bad situations for myself, and like in reality,
yeah. It happens, and you know that's kind of it's just kind of how we learn, by just doing, and just kind of learning as we go, basically. You know, mistakes are never, for the most part. Well, actually, what I'm learning right now at this chapter of my life is mistakes are just mistakes. It's not good or bad. It's just what is. There
you always learn from something.
Yes, it's always learning. If anything, it's always more of a learning lesson than it is like.
It's kind of like, okay, not doing that again, or like time to do some self work. Like
yeah. Okay, Christopher. So as we're actually beginning to like wrap up the interview, being someone who's created their own legacy, their own status, I'd say, on social media, putting yourself out there, can you actually talk about how that journey has been for you, and maybe in the end just kind of share an advice on for everyone else that also has the same aspirations to kind of put themselves out there, and how they can succeed in that way?
So I take pride in like every era that I've had, whether it's cringy like as fuck or like high quality. Like I take pride in that. So if you go to my Instagram, like I have photos from like when I first got Instagram, and like the photos are like cringy, like really, really bad.
Just like the Instagram filters, no offense, but the Instagram filters have forever been cringy. They have not changed. Like it's been 10 years now since I had Instagram. So
no, literally. And like I think, like I said earlier in the interview, like I've always loved to be in the camera and like just be innovative with my content. And as cheesy and cliche as it sounds, like I think it's just really like doing it because you love it, and really put yourself out there, like put yourself out there in like the way you want to be seen, and like just be unapologetic with it. So if you have an idea and like you're like, oh, but I don't have the good phone quality or anything, like honestly,
post it anyways.
We all start somewhere, and like especially nowadays with like apps like TikTok and stuff, like you can blow up with even like the shittiest quality. Like so, just really put yourself out there and like really establish like who you want to be. The reason I mentioned that was because when you scroll through my Instagram, like you'll see like all my phases of like how bad photos were. Like I used to like really like filter photos, or
the real question is, do you even take bad photos? Because from what I've seen of you, I'm like, I don't think he but I'm like, I think he's less likely to take a bad photo than a good photo.
No, literally there was always, and I thought it was like so cool. I was like, yeah, like these are like bomb photos, and It just shows you like it kind of just shows how I always like it's cool watching my Instagram page now because this is the page I've always wanted it to be, and like I still like have ideas for how I want to like elevate it, but I'm still getting closer to where I want to be. But like I said, like we all start somewhere, and like my summer was like on Instagram, like using filters. Like I would rotate photos, and like I literally was stood at like the wall and like flipped it, so I made people believe like, oh, I'm doing a handstand or like things like that. But yeah, I think my advice is just really like plan out how you want to do things and also just do them to like the fullest potential like you have and just be unapologetic with it. So what I do is I'll have ideas, I'll like coordinate with my friend because I usually dance with my friends. So I'll like coordinate like schedules, I'll like style us. So like I'll like choose the clothing.
Yes.
Co-direct with like my best friend Kayla, and like we'll just create ideas together. And like I said, like I feel like Google Calendar like is my savior because I put all my stuff on there. But like I said, just really plan things out and like just really think about how you want to be seen and find your niche. I feel like finding your niche is a really good way to start. So I never, like I said, like I'm very like spread out in terms of like what I do.
Multi-hyphenated. There you go. You're multi-hyphenated. You are a multi-hyphenated artist in the making. There you go.
Yes. And I feel like I feel like I know what I really, really like, which is photography and like even modeling now and dancing. So like I'm now focusing on those three niches. So like now my content, like, I feel like that's a really good way to establish your brand, like finding your niche and like what you really want people to get out of your page. So yeah, if you're creative out there, I say do it, go for it, and like don't hold yourself back because you're the only person holding yourself back.
Okay, master class, y'all heard it here on my podcast. Okay. A masterclass feature Christopher Aguirre. I love it.
Yes.
But you know, to actually the reason why I asked that is because like a lot of us, I guess in our generation really, we grew up with social media kind of becoming like one of the main ways to like kind of be and like interact in this world really, not just society in society in the world really, but I've always been interested in kind of like sometimes deconstructing what I feel like people are doing and what's making it work. And like everything that you said specifically, I'm like, yeah, he's right. He's right.
Oh,
yep, he's right again.
Thank you.
So thank you.
No, and I think it's just crazy just because, I mean, I have to remind myself I'm still young. Like I'm still 19.
So, you're only 19?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, like, I was telling my mom, like, because sometimes like she'll be like, because I'll be like, oh my God, like I want this, I want that, I want this, like I want to be here, I want to be there. And I had to like sit down and be like, Chris, like you're still so young. Like you have so much to experience. You have so much opportunities that are like waiting for you. And you just like need to like trust your journey and like I just have to and like humble myself. Like you can't be needy. You have to be like, so like basically by doing that, I really appreciate the moment. And like, I don't take anything for granted. Like any little thing is big for me. And I think that's something that's really important because I feel like with society nowadays, like things just move like this. And it's it's very hard to like take a step back, breathe, and like truly appreciate like what's been going on. So that's what I remind myself. Like you're still young, you still got a lot of time. There's no need to stress about like the future. Like just continue doing what you're doing now.
You know, too. I mean, your mama's right. There you go. Mama's right. You still have well, all of us really, but just I guess just kind of reflecting on my 19-year-old self. Like I think around that time I was like, oh, I got the world in my hands, you know? And I guess from what I've experienced from like my 19-year-old self to like my now 29-year-old self is that, you know, really the best thing we can do really is to just keep putting our best foot forward and to just try our best to like appreciate anything that life will give us. But we also we really don't have any say and control in the humanly experiences of life, you know, because that's always going to be there. It's going to be a part of our journey. And like, I'm only at 19, like, you know, you've really begun to kind of use all of the tools that our world now has given, because 100 years ago, clearly social media was not a thing, not even 20 years ago, you know? So the fact that you've taken your sense of self, being unapologetic, and like definitely a huge sense of inquisitiveness, and kind of like, I'm gonna play with this and see what happens. And I
Oh
think
yeah.
this is where you ended up as of now in your journey, because like your life is our lives, but especially for you, I feel like you're at a point of your life where the world is your caveat.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Yeah.
And like I said, and I probably said this so many times during this interview, I'm just grateful for everything. My journey, like all my downs, all my ups, like I'm just really grateful. And I'm just really excited for the future, because I feel like I know there's going to be like amazing things out there, and I know I'm going to like reach my dreams and like accomplish all that. So I'm just excited for the journey that's going to get me there.
Nice. So as I ask you the closing questions, or question, it's only one question. Is there anything, any projects that you're working on, like anything that you're looking forward to?
Yes. So I'm performing for Lil Wayne's Upward Hip Hop Festival this Friday. And that's going to be with Young Money and friends. I know who they are, but secret. You'll have to find out on Friday. I do have this amazing, like, insane project that I can't say what it is, but it is something that I've always like dreamed of. So this will be like my first like personality type like project, and I was very excited. I feel like I'm always doing dance, but this gave me an opportunity to really put myself as like a personality star. So I'm really excited for this show that I've been working on. So that will be out like hopefully soon, and I'll let you know so you can like watch it and let me know how it is. But yeah, and then again, just doing a lot of like self projects. So filming content, collaborating with other creators. I just collab with this amazing artist as well. Her name is Riri, and Riri Realness, and
Like Rihanna.
and she was amazing. And I just love collaborating with people, just because you get to mesh what I know and then mesh what they know, and then together it's like something very unique.
You grow, like collaboration, like what you just said. Sorry to interject, but
good.
Like I've actually just I've always advocated, especially in my current chapter of like my career, like you can only do so much on your own without the help of a community helping each other. And collaboration is really the best way to grow, like to spread your impact.
I had something that really inspired me was Beyonce. So what she does is she gets all her like favorite producers, and she rents out a house, puts them all in one house, and then everyone's just creating in like different corners, and like you get some Afro beat, you get some like hip hop, some R&B, and like you just come with this really unique sound. So when I saw like the Beyonce interview, when she talked about that, that's what really inspired me to be like, collaborating is such a good thing. You can only gain from it. So
yes.
And yeah, I feel like I've learned so much just through collaborating, and getting to work with. It's very interesting getting to know how someone's creative process and compared to mine. So it's very cool to like mash them together.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
that's
speaking of.
So I'm really excited, and I'm really happy to. I'll share with you so you can like see it.
Yes, and speaking of collaboration, I'm gonna put myself out there. Speaking of someone who puts themselves out there, I would love to collab with you. I mean, well, technically, this interview is a first collaboration, but I want to dance with you. I want to. I'm like yes, I want to create something with you. So
yeah, I'd be so down. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Yeah. Okay, my friends. So we got to the end of the interview. So my final closing question for you is, drum rolls again. Okay. What is the legacy that you would like to leave behind with the work that you do?
So I want my work to outlive me. So when I like pass away, like I just want people to remember like what I stood for, and like I want to make a difference in the world. That's always my thing. Like one of my favorite songs is "I Was Here" by Beyonce, and basically just talking about like I want to leave an impact here, and because we're only here for limited time, so everything I do like to make other people happy, and like obviously to make me happy and like fulfill like my passion. But at the end of the day, like I do things for people, and I'm very like I'm a man of service, so like I always just love to do things for people. So I just hope that through my art, people can heal, can like get inspired, can create, and just really like I just want people to be the best versions of themselves. So I hope that by watching my content, people can really be impacted by that and just really like know that like the virtual space that I create is a space for you to really feel inspired and be happy with. So I just want my legacy to be known as very impactful, and just I want to make a difference in the world.
Yes. And you already have, and there are many more that you will do with the many, many more decades to come in your life, the many, many more decades.
More updates on Instagram and all those social media.
You're gonna look like that, except with gray hair at some point. That's it. Still,
I'll be in my deathbed, like doing this like interview again.
And your hair is like still like sleek and like almost like a Robotron or something, almost like an android.
Like
lips puckered up.
No, literally like the BBL effect, like BBL effect, like.
My friend, where can people find you? Where can people, new followers, new fans, new friends come and check you out and support you and the work that you do?
Yes, so you
plug. This is the time to plug.
Yes, okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Christopher Aguirre with 2 extra E's at the end. That's on Instagram and TikTok. You can find me on Twitter at Chris Aguirre with 2 extra E's again. And my YouTube is just Christopher Aguirre. I'm working on that right now. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Nice. Yay, thank you, my friend. We did it.
Below, you can see it too.
Yes, in the description box. There you go.
All my like social media handles. So
that link go, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, but y'all don't need to write it.
No, literally, you can just click.
Yes. My friend, thank you. How are you feeling? How are you feeling that we made it to the end?
Honestly, I love it. I feel like I was a little like nervous at first, but then talking to you made me feel really comfortable and just really allowed me to open up and be myself. So thank you for having me. And I'm just super excited to collab, 1, and then 2, like just see where we are in our journeys, like the next time we talk.
Yes. Thank you, my friend. Okay, y'all. So we made it to the end of the episode. And this is Soul Supremacy, where we talk about all things unapologetic, all things passion and in pursuit of, and we're gonna sashay away in boom, which was his TikTok intro that he wanted to do. So thank you guys. I'll see you guys next Friday with another special guest that I'm excited. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you. Bye, everyone.
This podcast show is a product of Studio Penguino. For more information about advertising, please visit www.adrianpenguino.com.